I love you.
I ain't got shit. Let's start this shtick. Welcome back to Green and Faceless on the Couch. I am the Green Traveler.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Well, this is a podcast about movies. And we're back at our playlist. Here we are, number 3 for 007, The Bondster.
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. Yeah, so Goldfinger, I don't remember who did the last synopsis for this, but I can do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Goldfinger. So 007, if he dies, they'll just send 008. He's sent
or
to...
replace him with the next actor to play the
That's
007.
right. That's right, according to your theory. 007 is sent to investigate Goldfinger, which I thought he had a first name, but I don't remember what it is. Is it Otto, maybe? Auric, thank you. Yeah, that's right. For some reason...
AU for gold.
That's right. Goldfinger. But
They're
anyways,
smart little bastards.
he's played by Gert Forb. I don't know how to do umlauts. I'm sorry. That's why I failed German. And anyways, he's a big gold tycoon, if you couldn't tell by the name. And
yeah, he doesn't just have gold fingers.
He doesn't just have gold fingers. Though that would
unlike
be nice.
Gold Member from Austin Powers.
Yeah. So anyways, this movie, he's got a whole bunch of gold, and they think that he got a lot of it by smuggling, so they're trying to figure out if he's like doing shady deals and stuff, so they send 00 to figure that out. That's the basis of the film.
They being MI6. It is the basis of the film, and while figuring it out, Bond's penis gets excited, and he takes the figuring it out phase a little too far.
Yeah,
and
he
it
sure
starts a major rivalry.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I feel like we can just go straight into spoilers for this. I don't know. Do you?
I mean, again, this is it's a movie from 1964.
Yeah,
it's James Bond. Like,
it's
I
one
don't
of the
think
most
it matters
iconic
if you
James Bond movies.
Yeah, but the thing is, when it comes to a spy film, I don't think you can really just give anything away, because once you watch it, you're just gonna forget it anyways. So it's like, this is definitely a far more entertaining spy film. Surprising for me too. I remember when we first watched it, I was like, wow, I actually really enjoyed a spy movie. It's not the most entertaining I've been through a spy movie. Later Bonds get that.
Right.
And recently with Tenet, Tenet's a spy movie, and I was far more interested in that than I've ever been with a Bond movie. But it's just, with Goldfinger, I don't know what it is. There's something to it that it actually is more grasping than the other two we've watched.
I don't know how or why, really. I think maybe both the other two movies, From Russia with Love and Dr. No, they're practically the same movie.
Yeah, and they're also directed by Terrence Young, both of those. This is the first movie we have a new director.
Maybe that's
Guy Hamilton.
The reason. Maybe this guy just knows how to grab us in particular. Because people definitely like those movies. This guy being Guy Hamilton. Guy Hamilton.
It is still, or Guy. It could be Guy.
Oh.
But I guess it's Guy. My best guess. It's also still written by Richard Maybaum. He's written the other two along with co-writers each time. Yeah, he has Paul Dinn, who co-wrote this one. But Guy Hamilton, I believe he does go on to direct more Bond movies. I'm not really familiar with his work. And I know that we return to Terrence Young, I believe, in the next movie. So we'll see if our interest drops off again in the next movie.
We'll see.
Is just a director thing.
Like you said, it definitely grabbed my interest a lot more than the other two. I honestly, like, up until something that happens at the end, I was like, this is a pretty damn good movie. I have been captivated the whole time. And like I said last time, as soon as they had that Romani fight in the last one, I was on my phone the whole time, because I was like, I had to see what people said about it.
I don't remember being on my phone much during this one.
No, I
was
did
actually
not.
like watching it.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of it is because James Bond isn't just a lucky bastard throughout this whole movie. Like,
no, he's actually doing like good spy work.
He's doing good spy work, but he's also just getting his he's taking his nose in a little too deep.
Yeah, he gets his ass beat.
Let me say that again. He's digging his nose in a little too deep. I said taking. But it's just like, he kind of ruins Auric Goldfinger's betting during a game. Auric's cheating, and Bond steps in and interferes and causes Auric to Goldfinger to lose a shit ton of money. And Goldfinger is the kind of person that holds a grudge, and so for the rest of the movie, he has it out for James Bond. If he can, he's like, well, I want to try to crush this guy. And that, I think for me, that's what makes it really interesting, is watching this fight between these two people. Goldfinger is not a fit villain. He is kind of a fat business tycoon, like you said. Like he's a fat cat.
But I feel like he's a better villain than Dr. No.
Easily.
Yeah, but because though Dr. No, I don't know how villainous Dr. No really is. I mean, he was more of just a scientist.
You didn't really get a look into what drove Dr. No. He was just an evil scientist, like you said. But with Auric, you kind of get a lot of his motivations throughout this whole movie. Like you can understand his personality, why he does things. He's a very vengeful, I've always gotten my way, nothing's gonna stop me from getting my way kind of white guy.
Oh man, definitely. It's kind of funny because there's this line at the beginning of the movie where somebody was talking to Bond about Goldfinger, that is, and he said, where's he from, or something like that, English. The guy answered and said, but he doesn't sound like it. And Gert Frob is German. So I don't know if that was like a line just to nod at the fact that he has a bit of a German accent.
Right. It's like we hired this guy because he's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to rewrite the script and give him a new nationality.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. But I also felt like maybe after the war, he like just kind of slid into the background and like somehow became a British citizen through naughty means. Maybe. So he's an
escaped Nazi now.
Yeah.
James Bond's fighting the escaped Nazis.
I don't know if he is a Nazi, but I mean, it is in the time period.
I think that might be a little racist, just to assume a German.
I'm sorry. It's just the period. It's the period. I'm just doing math. It's just math here.
It's terrible.
I'm just inferring idiocy to this plot that's actually decent.
And his plan's like ludicrous, but at the same time like really smart. Like once you find out what his plan is, you're kind of like, oh, all right, I get it. Yeah, I mean, that's terrible, but crazy, I get it.
But yeah, that's gonna hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, well, we'll have to talk that one behind a spoiler wall later.
Yeah,
But I think it's fair to say that for both of us, Goldfinger is a great villain, and makes this movie a lot better than the other two so far.
I would say.
Another improvement is the humor. Like, not to knock Sean Connery, because he has been a great actor for the first two movies, but his delivery here is so much better on the humor throughout all of Goldfinger. And it might be the writing. It's still Richard Maibaum, but like maybe the jokes got better for the screenplay for him. But I don't know. It's just whenever he made like a joke or something, like it actually rang true for me, and I'm just like, I got a chuckle out of it. and
I
like
don't
his
remember.
interacting.
I don't remember what he said it to, but he said, that'd be like wearing earmuffs, not wearing earmuffs to listen to the Beatles. Listening to the Beatles without earmuffs. That's what the line. And then Oddjob is there.
Oh, okay. Now we gotta talk Oddjob. You mentioned that.
Yeah, I did. I mentioned Oddjob.
He's sitting. He's lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
With his bowler hat.
Yeah. So Oddjob. I don't know.
Fearsome bodyguard.
Yeah, his fearsome bodyguard and valet. I don't know what to say about Oddjob because he's cool. He's a silent character. But I feel like he started a stereotype for Asians in film. Like you see his character pop up again and again in film. But I don't know that this role in particular is a stereotype. Because as I was watching I remember all the things from our pop culture that is like kind of gross about the iconography there. But as I watched the movie, I didn't really see anything that was like demeaning. I feel like anybody could have played Oddjob.
Anybody could have. Yeah, they could have just gotten a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. But I got it in my mind for some reason that imagery is racist. But like I think that's just what people have done to it in the future.
Maybe. I can't say to it because I don't know the research of this movie in that regard.
Yeah, I could be talking out my ass. So
yeah, because this might not even be the first movie to have a silent Asian butler-like character.
That's true.
But the awesome stuff with Oddjob is, here we have a person who is way stronger than James Bond,
right? Who
is a far more skilled fighter, who has a weapon that is a steel-brimmed hat. Yeah. That, he can just toss it and it just slices off the head of statues.
Yeah. Straight through marble.
Threatening, he's imposing, and like he fights. I feel like there's 3 times where he fights James Bond. 2 times where Bond is just like taken unawares, and so it's just kind of like, gets his ass beat really quickly by Oddjob. But then in the final act, there's that big. Yeah, in that final act, there's that final, big fight with him and Oddjob, and it's great. Like, the action's actually a lot of fun in this movie too.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a lot to like about this movie. Like even so there's 2 sisters in this movie.
Oh gosh.
Jill and Tilly Masterson. They look exactly the same and they're never in the same scene.
Well, there's a reason they're not in the same scene.
Yes, there is. But anyways, Tilly tries to kill Ulrich at some point, pretty early on in the movie, actually. And she's taking a shot right next to James Bond's head, pretty much. And it hits the dirt next to him, and he's like, what the hell? And then he goes and chases her down, and like there's this car chase scene, and she gets in an accident. And so they partner up for a little bit.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the Masterson sisters.
I do too.
It is hilarious that they use the exact same actress.
They don't.
Maybe it was a twin.
They don't.
Is it a twin?
Jill is Shirley Eaton, and Tilly is Tania Mallet. And that could be pronouncing names wrong.
I literally just thought they were the same actors.
They look the same, and you know what my problem with that is that she's not even on here on the list, but Dink. It's the blonde that he was with right before he met Jill Masterson. Looks exactly like them.
So Bond has a type, is what you're saying.
Yes, it does. And then our big Bond girl character is Pussy Galore, who is a blonde who looks pretty much just like the Masterson sisters.
Okay. No, I wouldn't say that. I say she looks a lot different than them. She's still a blonde, but You could definitely tell Pussy Galore apart
Yes,
from
you
the
can.
Masterson sisters.
You can. But oh my
Now
god,
you're just
guys.
being sexist.
No, I think this movie's sexist is what I'm trying to get at. Not everyone is a blonde,
Model blonde.
Yeah, a tall blonde. Just these 4 women are. And they just happen to be the only 4 women in the movie.
I think it might be a statement. Well, I understand why they cast the Masterson sisters. Like, obviously,
Yes,
they look alike. Like, that's
yes.
damn good casting there. But I mean, like, Pussy Galore is played by Honor Blackman. Yeah. And she's amazing. Like, I really like her as a Bond girl. I think she's really fun.
really like her until their ending. I hate the ending so fucking much, Greg.
Oh, are you talking when Bond's penis when Bond's penis makes her flip sides?
Yes, I hate that. Because
I do too.
It is the worst. Well, and maybe we should put up a wall to talk about that.
No, I think we can talk it without the wall yet, because we can talk it without big spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many spy movies where the romantic interest is working with the villain. Oh no. Right. You know, and it's all about, like, you know, is she double agent? Is she not? Does she like Bond? Does she like the villain? Which raises the question, aside from money, why are people working for Goldfinger? Like, he's such an asshole. Like, why is Oddjob? Like, Oddjob's not in it for the money.
He must pay it.
Oddjob is not. He is not in it for the money.
Oddjob might just be a little psychopath that likes to kill people, and he gives them an opportunity.
That's true. It might be. Yeah, for Pussy, it's got to be all Pussy Galore. That is, it's got to be all about the money.
Yeah, well, though he lets her rather fly fucking planes all day. She's his pilot.
That's true.
And she has her own flying circus. So
yeah, Pussy Galore's flying circus.
Yeah, she's got some perks.
Oh, that shit was ridiculous.
Her in particular, yeah. Oh my god.
But like at the end, though, you know, it is a bit of a spoiler.
Is there anything else you want to talk about first?
Yeah, let me look over my notes here real quick. I mean, let's just shout out. You know, you still have the same main cast of characters at MI6, you know, Miss Moneypenny, right. Q, M, Bond, all played by the same actors still.
The Q scene's awesome.
Still doing a good job.
I like the
Q scenes. I love the Q scenes. Like, it's really fun just to watch. He's played by Desmond Llewellyn, and it's really fun just to watch this guy just, like, tell you this nonsensical, absurd spy gear shit, and you're just like, all right.
And it's only just so that you can watch it get used during the show. Like,
yeah.
Like, Q doesn't have to do this. Yeah, it is exactly a Chekhov's gun. That's what it is.
That's a spy movie in a nutshell. We're gonna set everything up and fuck you.
And there you are.
But no, I don't think. Looking over my notes real quick, I don't see anything specific I want to talk about. So let's wall build.
Skipping spoilers, eh? Go to 2611. You'll be fine.
Hi, Couch Potatoes. Faces Leon here with a friendly content warning. Behind the wall here, we do discuss sexual assault. And we understand that not everybody is in a position to listen to a discussion about that. So just a friendly warning going forward. Thank you.
Listen, people, listen. If you've gone past the wall, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to watch this movie. Because James Bond is in this barn with this lady, and they literally fight before she agrees to have sex with him. It was a rape scene, pretty much. It
50
was.
no's and a yes means yes.
No. Bad Bond. Bad Bond. But it made me so mad because up to that point, I was like really into this movie. And I was like, dude, like, I know you think you're going to die tomorrow, but You could find somebody else. You're suave enough. I know you
It's
are.
not, but it's not that. That was part of his plan. He knew the power of his penis.
No,
It was
Greg.
for the it was for the betterment of the world economy. I'll explain that statement later when we're talking about Goldfinger's plan in depth. But it was for the betterment of the world economy. If he got this girl to just
It
flip
wasn't-
sides.
It wasn't good, and that's almost
it's
why
not
I
good.
hate it even more, Greg, is that they made
Yeah.
it part of the plot. Like,
Yeah, they didn't need to.
they didn't. First
could've-
off, they didn't need a scene at all, and then there was just so many other ways to write the ending of this movie. Like
Yeah.
even
Well, they could still have sex, and that could
Yes.
still be what causes her to flip
Yes.
sides.
Yes,
if you
it
want, I
could.
think I still think that's terrible.
and you know what's
Because
what
I'm just
Yeah.
joking around, people. I want it to be clear. I'm on the Faceless Leon's side here. It's gross. I'm
It's
just
bad.
being devil's advocate. But all they had to do was just make it a consensual scene where they do
Yeah,
not fight
and then it
beforehand,
would've
and she
worked.
does not say no a bunch.
And you know what's the sad thing about it is I think they were trying to show that Pussy Galore was a strong female character because she fought back. But she gives in. She
Yeah.
gives in, guys. And it's not a good, that is not, I mean, first off, her name is Pussy Galore. We shouldn't expect her to be a role model or anything, but
No,
It-
it's Bond movie.
yeah, exactly. It's a Bond movie, but it's still it is to the most extreme of what
Yeah.
I've seen in the Bond movies, for sure. And it definitely upset me.
It definitely is upsetting. I will still say,
Yeah,
of the three, it's still the most entertaining Bond movie.
yeah. Out of the three, I will say it still is the most entertaining out of the three. But I can't.
The message is terrible there.
No,
Definitely.
it's bad. And do you remember what he said when she changes over sides?
50 no's and a yes means yes.
He said, I must have spoken to her motherly instinct.
Oh, God, yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? What happened to your mother, James?
No, I think it just means he fucked her.
It's wrong. It's bad. Okay, what else you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we might as well talk about Goldfinger's plot.
Yeah, because that's the good part of the movie.
Yeah, dude has a shit ton of gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they believe at near the end, as they're investigating him and discovering all that he's capable of and all that kind of fun, gooey, good stuff, they believe he's going to rob Fort Knox. And so he breaks into Fort, he's kind of breaking into Fort Knox or whatever. And so they're trying to stop him from doing that because, they don't want him to steal the gold, but they also think it's the dumbest plan because, the moment he breaks into Fort Knox, he's going to be surrounded. Yeah, he's going to be surrounded by everybody in America. All the enforcement officers. But that's not his plan at all. His plan is to release a chemical agent or whatever into Fort Knox, contaminating all the gold and making it worthless for years, therefore making the gold that he owns far more valuable.
Yeah. The only way it works is if he doesn't get caught.
Yeah,
He gets caught because of Bond's penis. God damn it.
because of Bond's penis.
His gold finger.
But Bond also uses, his own intelligence to figure out what's going on and to counteract Goldfinger's plan at the last second. And it's kind of fun to watch his plan unravel because of Bond's actions, because you kind of think Bond's, 2 steps behind throughout most of the movie, but somewhere Bond goes 1 step ahead. And it's around the time when he has sex with Pussy Galore.
There is definitely stuff that the hero does that, like you said, is smart and cool movie stuff. It's just, I think it would have been better if they would have had an actual scene. They don't even have to fall in love, but even from the first moment he met Pussy Galore, he had been trying to, I don't know, butter her up, to show that
He was pouring Yeah, he was born on the charm.
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, like, they don't have to have sex. I mean, it's Bond, so they do, but they don't have to. They could have had like a conversation. Like she is actually a capable character, is what the problem is. Is that they set her up as a capable character, and then they just use her for that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and I got nothing really else to say about it. I think there's nothing really else behind a wall. Because I feel like we've gushed about it, and now we've bitched about it.
Yeah, we did. There was good stuff about this movie. That's just the thing that stuck out to me the hardest, because it was the worst.
I feel like for me, I don't know why I'm terrible. I'm disassociated with a lot of stuff, because it's like I walk away and I just put it out of my mind.
Right.
Because it's been about maybe a week or more since I've watched this. Our schedules have been rough around recording, so it's been a while since I've watched it, and I really just don't even remember that scene. I know it happened. I remember it happened. I've just put most of it out that it's just, I can't think of anything else to say about it. That it's just like, it's gross, but
that's fair.
I've forgotten it, and the rest of the movie around it is entertaining.
These are all true things.
As long as it's pointed out that there is a gross plot point that definitely the finale pivots on.
Yeah.
It definitely does ruin it.
Yeah, well, anyways, I guess the wall's down now. Let's stop talking about it.
I guess we're ready for closing statements.
Yeah, I think so. It's
a short little playlist episode.
I said a lot of what I feel about this movie Behind the Wall, but I think it's a really good movie that just has one plot point that ruins it for me. That's what I gotta say in my closing statement. So for that reason, man, I almost don't want to give it half a face, but I'm gonna give it half a face. Because I did enjoy it up until that point. And then I even enjoyed things that were done in the film after that point. I was just upset of how it ended because of it.
Yeah. And in my closing statement, I agree with what you said. However, I also kind of just walk into this movie knowing it's a Bond movie and knowing it's going to treat women like shit.
Right. That's true.
So I don't look at this movie through the scope of expecting anything good to come of it in regards to female characters. But it is the most entertaining Bond movie of the three that we've watched. It's improved on a lot of the action, the storytelling, the comedy, even just the character of Bond. In some very negative ways, but also some very positive ways. But I give it 3 stars. I feel like that's where most Bond movies will range, is from the 2 to 3 star range.
Right.
It'll be rare if they go above and beyond. But this movie had potential to be 3.5 stars, even more. Like it could have been close to 4 stars. But that there is that pivotal moment at the end that we talked about Behind the Wall that. I don't feel comfortable giving it anything more than a 3.
It's not right. It'd be one thing if that was part of the movie and then there was consequences for it, but instead there was a positive twist. That's what's...
Yeah, but instead they saved the day because of it.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's
James Bond. The next one is Thunderball? Maybe?
I think it's Thunderball. Yeah. How many more James Bond
Is that the underwater
movies?
one?
Is it? I think it is.
I'm not sure.
I don't think Octopussy is the underwater one, which is unfortunate. Like you'd think. But how many more do we have of this run that we're doing?
I believe we have 2 more Sean Connery movies. And then there's, in a row that is, and then there's the Roger Moore, and then it's the next, or maybe it's not Roger Moore, maybe it's Lazenby. But then there's, there's three Connery movies, and then 1 stuffed in the middle somewhere.
All right.
We got a few more.
So we got 4? Is that 4? Yeah, that's 4 more movies.
I think so.
Okay, we can do this. We can make it through.
Hey man, I was pushing something shorter.
I know. It was
You were the
my
one
idea.
who pushed James Bond.
This is my idea. I thought it'd be fun, but this movie, I mean, I enjoyed it so much up until that point.
Yeah.
So maybe there are more enjoyable movies up ahead. I do think that the underwater
Richard
one will be
Teeth
interesting
there.
to talk about.
I don't know if there's gonna be more good ones up ahead.
Well, okay. I think the audience is learning how we feel about James Bond, and that's
Sorry,
good.
everybody.
We're growing together. Feel free to like us, follow us, subscribe to us where you listen. We'd love that.
Send us hate mail.
Yeah, send us hate mail. We'd love that too.
I'll read it.
Everything you want can be found at Green and Faceless Facebook. Anything you need. I don't actually think there's a way to physically contact us, but safe travels. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of Fiction Works 19. If you want to learn more information about us, check us out on Facebook. You can also check out the Facebook and Instagram accounts of Fiction Works 19. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, or subscribe wherever you catch the show. Thank you all very much for listening.